Hi guys, SHAREfactory here, and here we got a brand new episode for you. It's based on team dynamics and loadouts in Warzone. Okay, the main thing that most people I find are missing or not talking about when I'm looking around online is what to do with teams and your loadouts. If you are not winning games and you are not achieving high kills, there is a reason for this, guys. It's not based mainly on skill level, it's tiny things that you need to know and learn to make your way in battle royale games. Okay, there are 3 categories I'm going to talk to you about today of players that you want to aim to find for your teams, and they all have specific roles. You've got your playmakers. Okay, playmakers are upfront players. They read the map, they decide rotations, and can read situations and create plays. You know these guys because they are always at the front of the pack and they are giving you directions, call outs, and they are always the first into the fight, guys. Okay, backing them up. Okay, you do not want a full team of playmakers. If you get a full team of playmakers, that is a bad dynamic. That means you got 4 chiefs on your team. You do not need 4 chiefs, you need at least 2 chiefs and the rest are Indians, guys. Okay, it's not horrible to say you got your followers and then you got your leaders. Okay, you can't have 4 leaders in situations like this. Okay, the guys that I'm talking about are over-the-shoulder shooters, I call them. Basically, over-the-shoulder shooters need to be within an effective range of the playmakers at all times. Okay, that's why they are called over-the-shoulder shooters. Basically, they need to be able to listen and read the plays you are making. If they do not listen to what is going on when you're giving call-outs, you're going to end up on your own in a very bad or hot situation, which causes you to die, get knocked, or anything that is not good could happen to you. Basically, over-the-shoulder shooters are intermediate skill level. Like they're not needed to be a high level. If you got a high level guy, great. It's not essential to only pick high level people for your team. You're playing with your friends and you are someone who you feel is a playmaker, they are an over shoulder shooter for you. Okay, as you can see in this video, you can see obviously we've got Mad Marguerite and Ghost, SHAREfactory, myself, and Aram 5k. Okay, Aram 5k is my over the shoulder shooter. You got Ghost, who is Mad's over the shoulder shooter. In generality, sometimes we switch up. It's okay. Basically, when you come down to your over the shoulder shooters, the main skill is accuracy. Okay, there is no point having backup if the backup arrives and they are not hitting what you are shooting at. Okay, basically, that's all they need to worry about. Communication, listening, positioning. Obviously, if you're a playmaker, you're up front, you're painting a picture for the guys behind you of what they are walking into. That is why communication is key. If you do not tell them what is coming, they are just going to walk in blind and then die. So that is something that the playmaker does for all the team, not necessarily just the over-the-shoulder shooters. All of you are working together. Nobody is lesser in the situation. It's just everybody has a role. Okay, so basically, when you're painting the picture, and if you do it well enough, your over-the-shoulder shooters should then realise and get themselves into a position to back you up. And then you've got your reactive players. Okay, reactive players are a high level of skill. In all areas really, accuracy, movement, timing and play speed. They are not heavily tactically minded players. Doesn't mean they don't have a tactical mindset, it just means they do not need it as much as playmakers. Basically, a reactive player is an aggressive player. They are the RPG that you fire at the enemy, and when they're within distance they do an incredible amount of damage. Okay, so reactive players are just aggressive. They will find the enemy and close in and get the kill as soon as possible. That does not mean, obviously, as I say, they don't use tactics. They use small amount of tactics as the situation unfolds in front of them, which is a very good skill. It's fast thinking. These are guys that you will see playing MLG, EGL tournaments, all this kind of thing, guys. They are basically tournament players. They are great to have if you have them. You don't want a whole team of them, I would say, because that way you end up without really a team. People who are reactive players, they seem to just, as I say, react to situations. So somebody spots one team, they're going for it. Somebody else spots another team, they're going for that team. And then before you know it, you've got 4 guys in opposite directions. It's just, obviously, if you're a high level skill player, you're professional, great. More power to you. Charge, great. You know, kill them all. That is perfection. But for me, I would only like 1, maybe 2 reactive players with me. Basically, reactive players are someone you can have them working as a team, but mainly they are lone wolf kind of people. Some people, I see a lot of people play as a reactive player, but they are not quite at that skill level. You know, props to them for challenging themselves, but if you got someone who is a intermediate skill level reactive player, it's more of a hindrance because you will be constantly buying them back. So, you know, it's tomatoes really. So, getting further into it, team dynamic and loadout. Okay, if you are a playmaker, you are the upfront player. Your job, as I keep saying, is when you find the enemy, is to get yourself into position, communicate to the guys behind you what is going on, to paint them a picture so they can get into position. But your main job, your main focus is, when you get into position and you fire on these teams, you have to do as much damage as you can. There is no point alerting the enemy to your position if you are not going to damage them. If you are going to damage them, obviously you're aiming mainly for 1 player. That's all you need to do. If you can hit more than 1 player, that is perfect. But mainly you want to focus on 1 player. As soon as 1 player is down, you have got an anchor for that team. They can either feel trapped and stay in position, try and get their friend back, which can be absolutely deadly if they're in a bad area, or they have to leave the area. And that is also a good thing, because then you've lost them 1 player. They're 1 player down, and then it can only get better from there. You down another player, so on, so on, so on. But you need to paint this picture and hit the team heavy, because when your over-the-shoulder shooter arrives, they are then suppressing. Okay, they generally have a nice AR or sniper rifle to do damage and suppress the enemy. Okay, you want like an M4 or M13, a marksman barrel or an M16 barrel on your M4. That is just so you maintain power over the distance. If you're an over-shoulder shooter, you are not a frontline fighter, you are backup. You do not want a whole situation where you all rush in, you all die in open scenarios. In buildings, that's a different story, we'll get to that later. But mainly as an over-shoulder shooter, guys, you are there to suppress and get your playmaker further up. So obviously, as I say, your playmaker comes up, finds a target, paints a picture, gets into position, hits him hard. By the time the over-the-shoulder shooter arrives, he is suppressing and the playmaker is moving in again. That's close and kill the enemy. If you are frontline, your job is to get close and kill the enemy. Make sure you get those finishes. Okay? Mainly, what I suggest to do, if you're in a building, your over-the-shoulder shooter is coming in behind you. If you're knocking someone on the stairs, the playmaker just continues to push up the stairs. Your over-the-shoulder shooter will clean up the guy behind you that you have down. Do not, if you're a frontline player, waste your ammo in your clip cleaning up players when that can be done by the guy behind you. Okay? Plus, if you're a playmaker, what I suggest is a good loadout, which I will show you in a second. Basically, you want a mid-ranged M13 or M4. You do not need a marksman barrel or anything like that. Just something so it's silenced, maybe, so small enough barrel so it's got a bit of accuracy at mid-range, and you've got a bit of maneuverability with it. But also you want something like an MP5, MP7, Uzi, I don't care, whatever your poison is, as long as you feel it works up close, it really is irrelevant. You just want that gun that is designed for small, close encounters. Okay, so MP7s and MP5s, great for stairwell fighting. And obviously the guy behind you with his M4 can easily clean up those down players. Okay, obviously you got different loadouts that I'll show you. I got M13 with the marksman barrel and the VLK. That is if I'm planning on taking a step back and just relaxing. I'm getting more mid to long range engagements going. It depends on the area. But mainly I want to stick to my role and I want to grind at my role. That's the biggest suggestion I can give to you guys. Grind at your roles, stay within your roles. Unless obviously you've only got certain players left alive, then you need to improvise. But hopefully this has been an informative video, and hopefully you subscribe to my channel and give me some support, give me some pointers if you agree or disagree with what I've said. But obviously bear in mind, I'm not talking like, you know, if you're just playing with your friends for the sake of it. Kind of, this video is more for if you want to improve at the game, or if you wonder why you're not winning games and you got people of, you feel high skill level and you're just not winning games. Maybe this video can help point you in the right direction. You give people roles and then everybody knows what they are doing and you know where everybody is, and it just keeps things much more organized. Okay. Oh, something I did not mention. If you are an upfront player, you definitely want stun grenades or flash grenades. They are lifesavers. Heartbeat sensors are great, but nowadays with everyone running cold-blooded, and it can cause problems. Obviously, as you may know, on UAVs, you think you find one lone player, you arrive, there's a whole team, because one of them has baited you in with the ghost pick not active. So you basically wander in, guard down, looking for this one hopeless guy you're about to kill, and all of a sudden there is an enemy in your face. And obviously, as I said, that's why I feel heartbeat sensors are now overrated. I've drifted away from using them. So stun grenades and flash grenades, definitely big help, definitely worth pursuing. If you want a recommendation for your over the shoulder shooters, I would suggest they use gas grenades. Gas grenades obviously wildly unappreciated. I'll give you a reason why. If you're a playmaker, you don't really want to be using gas grenades, because if you push into your own gas grenade, obviously it affects you. If your teammate, your over the shoulder shooter, your backup throws it and then holds his position while you rush in, all the enemies that are in the room with that gas are incapacitated. They cannot aim down their sights and they got horrible movement speed. So you can run in fast pace, bam 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 bam, job done. Okay, so that is a great little maneuver performance wise. Okay, so all these little things may not seem important, but obviously look at your team, look at your classes. Okay, you need to use classes that support your skill set. Okay, if you're a tactical minded player and you're always at the front, and as I say, you're making the plays, you do not need to focus on long range. Okay, just give yourself a break and give yourself what you need. Okay, diversify, give yourself a good loadout, guys. Okay, okay, thank you very much, and thank you for listening. As I said, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Hopefully we're going to grow this channel. If you want to hear more on this subject, I am more than happy. As I said, like in my past videos, I'm new to kind of doing videos this way. If I seem quite like not top notch, it's because I'm learning. Just like when you play a game, I'm just grinding it out, creating this content for you guys, and I'm trying to pick topics that you will be interested in and can use in future. So thank you very much for listening, and see you again.